My name is Jason, and this is Just Watches. Okay, today we have the first watch from Venezianico on the channel. It's an Italian microbrand. So this was loaded for a review, and I was excited to get my hands on it. However, before we get to that review, if you're enjoying the contents of this channel, I invite you to subscribe. And if you're enjoying the contents of this individual video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. For price and availability, this watch is currently available on their website for $925 US, but that does include all duties if you are ordering from the US. The case is 39 millimeters in diameter. It's 45 millimeters lug to lug. It's very thin at only 10.5 millimeters and then has a 20 millimeter lug width opening. Now this case is made of QA19-4 bronze, which is an aluminum bronze alloy that's known for its strength, wear resistance, and corrosive resistance in various environments, including saltwater, which is perfect for this dive watch. So we have a mix of brushed and high polished surfaces. The tops and sides of the midcase are brushed with a nice high polished chamfer that flows along the top of the midcase. Crown guards envelop the crown, and a bronze bezel sits atop the midcase with chunky high polished teeth. As you can see, this case is already starting to patina, and I think it looks awesome already. This patina will continue to naturally occur over time. However, you can also force it with a variety of methods, or you can actually remove it if you don't like the way it's building up. Now, this case is going to be fantastic for smaller wrists, or if you just prefer smaller watches, and it's extremely comfortable on my 6 3/4 inch wrist, especially when you consider just how thin this watch is at 10.5 millimeters. The stock strap starts at 20 millimeters before tapering down to 16. Now this is FKM rubber, so it's extremely supple and comfortable from the moment you put it on, and it doesn't really need to break in. It features quick release spring bars for easy strap changes and has nicely matched bronze hardware with a mix of high polish and brush finishes. Now I really like how this white strap looks with the bronze case and that marble white dial of the watch. The dial on this watch is a gorgeous matte white that looks like marble. It's an excellent backdrop for the gold applied indices and looks wonderfully framed by the bronze case. At the edge of the dial are dashes for each of the minutes and applied indices for each of the hours. At 12, we have the brand name and applied logo with the model of the watch and depth at 6. The applied indices are gorgeous with brush tops and high polished sides. This combination of finishes makes them gleam in the light and greatly enhances their dimensionality. The dial is also exceptionally well balanced. While I do love a date on my watches, I can respect the pure symmetry of the dial on this one. The hour and minute hands are a very interesting combination of half skeletonized and half loomed. They are also faceted down the center and have a high polished gold finish that catches light nicely on multiple angles. I've always been partial to skeletonized hands, and these are no exception. There are lots of times when they overlap in interesting ways. The second hand is also high polish in that same gold finish and has a lollipop counterbalance but no loom. All of the hands are plenty long with the minute and second hands reaching to the edge of the dial. This is a nice and legible handset. The 120 click unidirectional bezel has excellent chunky knurling that makes it very easy to grip. The insert is bronze like the rest of the case and will also take on a nice patina. There are loom dashes at each of the 5-minute increments with Arabic numerals for 15, 30, and 45 and a loomed triangle at 12. The bezel action is extremely consistent and tactile, and it's a pleasure to use, and I'm happy to report everything lines up at 12 nicely. The 6mm crown is signed with the Venezianico logo and nicely knurled. It's also bronze, and you can see it's taking on a nice patina. The threading and unthreading action is very smooth. Now my only complaint is I would have preferred if this crown was just a touch bigger to make it a little bit easier to grip between the crown guards. However, it does look proportionate on the watch at its current size. The flat sapphire crystal is a touch proud of the bezel and has excellent anti-reflective coating that really helps you appreciate the beautiful dial and indices. I'm getting more and more particular about good anti-reflective coating, and I'm thrilled to see it is excellent on this particular watch. The screw-in case back is going to help provide 200 meters of water resistance and is decorated with the horses of St. Mark, which is a nice nod to both this watch being a bronze watch and also an Italian microbrand, as these statues are made of bronze and currently reside in Venice. This watch is powered by the Miyota 9039. This is a 28,800 vibration per hour hacking hand-winding movement with a 42-hour power reserve and a stated accuracy of -10 to +30 seconds a day. This is the no-date version, which is good because this is a no-date watch and ensures there's no ghost date position. This watch is keeping nice time, running around +8 to +10 seconds per day on the time grapher, and then has been running around +7 to +8 seconds a day on my wrist over the course of a few weeks. The hands, indices, and bezel are all loomed on this watch with BGW9 Super or Luminova. The Lume is good, but there is limited surface area on the indices and hands, which does limit the brightness to a certain extent. So here is the watch on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. You can see this is a perfect size for me personally and wears great with that short lug to lug. Also, this watch is really thin at only 10.5 millimeters, so it wears incredibly svelte and comfortable on the wrist. Now, pros and cons, starting with the pros. First, I find this combination of dial, indices, and bronze case quite striking. As this watch patinas, I think it's going to look even better. Second, as I said, the watch is a great size and very thin, so it's going to wear great on smaller wrists or if you just prefer smaller size watches. Third, the bezel action on this watch is excellent. It's extremely crisp and satisfying, and everything lines up nicely. Finally, I love the way the indices are finished with brushing on top and high polished sides. The way that the light catches them makes them extremely dynamic and they almost pop off the dial. Now, as for cons, the crown is a touch small for me. I just like really large crowns. I'd like to see it just a touch bigger to make it a little easier to thread and unthread between those crown guards. Second, the white markings on the bezel can be a little tricky to read in certain lighting conditions. And then last, I would love to see a bronze bracelet for this watch. They aren't often offered with bronze watches, but I just think this watch would look absolutely killer on a full bronze bracelet to match the case. As for comparable bronze divers, you might consider the C60 Pro 300 in bronze from Christopher Ward, or for a bit less you could consider the Glycine Combat Sub in bronze as well. So there you have it. What do you think about this watch? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you're enjoying the contents of this channel, I invite you to subscribe, and if you like the contents of this individual video, please give it a thumbs up. That's all for this time. My name is Jason, and you have been watching Just Watches.